So for our first week, our first assignments, I think they're fairly easy. There is some reading involved. You do need to read the syllabus and then a short article that I have for you. But the way that you are going to navigate to the modules every week is usually it will land on this page. This is the landing page. This is our home page, just course home. It probably looks really familiar from the other video. The quick links are here. So syllabus, modules, and then frequently asked questions. So there's also, if you ever have issues with Canvas and something isn't working, you can reach out to them in any of your classes, not just in this class, but there's a link in there for that as well. So, and again, I know I already covered that in the other video, just wanted to say that again. So when you're ready to begin, if you can either click here in modules or you can click here on the getting started, and it's going to take you to our first module. Also, if you notice on the side, let me back up really quickly. It will tell you each week what is coming up in this class, and it will tell you the due dates. Just as an FYI for you. So getting started, what I want you to do for every single module, and it will require you to go in order before it will unlock the syllabus quiz, you have to at least read over this. And then it will say like must be completed or all must be completed on your viewing. So it's fairly simple. Like I said, there's not a whole lot this week. So it just kind of gives you like welcome here, a course description again, just in case you can't remember which class this is. Then what I want you to do this first week is to look over the syllabus and take the syllabus quiz. So the syllabus, and I've hyperlinked everything, and I will try to do that for every single module moving forward. You will have like a video like this. So you'll have your lecture video, and then you will have everything that you need to do all within this one page, and everything will be hyperlinked for you. So you don't have to navigate necessarily away from this and try to find things because everything's listed here for you. So if you click on that, it will open up the syllabus. And hopefully you guys know if you right click on things, you can open it in a new tab. So if you want to toggle back and forth between the two, there's the syllabus. And here you have that option. And then you could also do that in order to have the syllabus open while you're taking the quiz, right? So that was for the syllabus and the syllabus quiz link. It's not there, but it will be hyperlinked when you're looking at this page. Then I have an article for you to read over, and I'm going to go over that in just a minute. So once you read that article, then you're going to take a quiz over that article. And then also based on the article and the information in that article by Dr. Sandoval, I want you to do this reflection discussion. And we'll look at that in more detail in just one second. So once you looked over this, you can either click out of everything and look over everything, or if you come down here and click the next button, it will take you to the syllabus quiz. So you can take the quiz, open the syllabus if you want to. Once you finish that and you submit it, you'll just come back here and hit next. So here's the article for the identity terms quiz. So what I want to do is look at this article with you together. I'm not going to read it to you, but I do want to briefly introduce it to you and just kind of explain what it is and why it's important to this course. And it may take a minute because it is a PDF, so we'll let it think. Just as an FYI, I did have to pause the video, and I paused it for about 30 seconds and then it loaded. So give it a minute, give it 2 minutes to load. You can always come over here and download it as well, and that seems to that will sometimes speed up the process. But this article, it's by Dr. Sandoval. He is a professor here at Phoenix College. He teaches this class as well. You probably have heard that name. He's really big into the Chicano studies. He also works with MECHA, the student group on campus. And if you don't know about them, there's a little bit of information in this article about them. But what he's doing in this article is explaining what is the difference between Latino, Hispanic, Chicano, what does all of that mean? Because we have these different names that we give groups of people, but that doesn't mean that they necessarily identify with those names that they've been given, right? So he goes through this article and kind of talks about like self-identification, what, why, how these terms came about, what they mean, what is normal, what's not normal, and then also kind of like how people identify today. So if you look at the term Hispanic, he's going to go more into this, but Hispanic just means like Spanish speaking people, and he gives you like a little bit of history with that. The term Latino or Latina, countries or cultures that were once under Roman rule. So think of like Latin. That's like a very European word. If you think of Latin, I always tend to think of like Europe and Rome, especially like Roman rule. But goes into that more. Latinx, what that means. Chicano, Chicana, Mexican American, and then of course the mixed race. And we will get into all of these kind of over time. These develop and they mean different things depending on the time and the context used. And he gives you a little bit of that. But this is just to kind of introduce you to these different terms because they're going to be thrown around a lot in this course. So it's important for you to understand what is the difference between Hispanic and Latino. What is the difference between Mexican American and Chicano? Is there a difference? Are they the same thing? Can you use them interchangeably like most people do? And is that appropriate to do that? So this article, it's not very long, but I do want you to read over that because you do have 2 assignments that are related to this article. Once you have read over the article, just come up here and close it out, and then you can take the quiz. You can also like open this, like I showed you, right click on it, open it in a different window and have it open while you are taking the quiz. And then the last assignment for this week is this identity reflection. So based on what you've read regarding those different terms that were in that article, and again, have this article open and ready while you are doing this, pick 2 of the terms. And they're the terms for you, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 different terms. Pick 2 and define them. How does Dr. Sandoval define them? What does he say about them? Just regurgitate that information, but put it into your own words, what he says. So when you answer this, thoroughly explain the difference between the 2 terms. So if you pick Chicano and Latino, what is the difference between those 2? Define Chicano, define Latino, and then tell me the difference between the 2. When is it appropriate to use Chicano? What group are you identifying? When is it appropriate to use Latino? What group or groups are you identifying when you use that term? And then I want you to use the article. I do not want you to use AI, right? I want you to use the article. I want you to use what he has, and it is okay. If you're going to copy and paste something from the article, put it in quotes so I know that you've copied and pasted it directly and I don't think that you're plagiarizing this. But your answer should be a minimum of 150 words. Anything less, so if you have 148 words, that's 2 points off automatically because you're 2 words shy of the minimum. That's 2 points off already before I even start grading it for the content. Right, so keep that in mind. And then also, you don't have to respond. I don't want you to respond to anyone else. This is just personal reflection for you. You are more than welcome to read through everyone else's, but you're not required to respond. Responding to someone else is not, it's not going to result in a higher grade because it's just post it and be done with it type of thing. And as always, if you do have questions about how to do anything, message me through inbox right here on the side, and I will try to get back to you. Do not panic if I don't answer right away. I promise I will answer it. I'm really pretty flexible when it comes to doing things as long as they're done before the due date. So if you message me on a Friday and things are due on Friday, just keep in mind I may not respond, right, until after the due date. So try to figure it out. I always tell students work ahead, work early on these things. So that is our first week. That's our first module that we're going to work through.